Okay, so when you think Egyptian pyramid, what pops into your head? Probably something perfect, right? A massive, smooth triangle piercing the desert sky. Well, today we're gonna look at one that completely shatters that image. What if I told you there's an ancient pyramid that looks like it just gave up halfway? A giant that looks like it's actually bending.
All right, check this out. On the left, that's the pyramid we all know and love, the Giza style, postcard perfect pyramid. You know, a symbol of absolute perfection. But now look at the one on the right. This isn't a Photoshop or a mistake. This is a real pyramid, out in the desert at a place called Dahshur. It starts off so ambitious, shooting for the sky, and then suddenly it just changes angle. It looks kind of broken, right? The big question is, what in the world happened here?
Yep, this architectural oddity actually has a name, and it's a pretty straightforward one. Welcome to the Bent Pyramid. It's seriously one of the weirdest and most argued about structures from the ancient world, and it just totally flies in the face of everything we think we know about the masterful Egyptian engineers. So that leads us right to the heart of the mystery, doesn't it? Is this thing a colossal engineering blunder, basically a disaster frozen in stone for thousands of years? Or is there something else going on? Some kind of hidden genius, a deliberate reason for its unique shape that we're just totally missing? I mean, think about it. Why would a pharaoh, a literal god king, be okay with a seemingly broken pyramid as his final resting place?
To figure this out, we've got to rewind. We're going back in time to a story that's got it all. Massive ambition, a bold plan, and a full-blown crisis out on the sand. And it all starts with one man.
So, let me introduce you to Pharaoh Sneferu. This guy was a total visionary, ruling during the 4th Dynasty, which was basically the golden age of pyramid building. We're talking around 2600 BC. And get this, he was the father of Khufu, you know, the guy who built the Great Pyramid at Giza. So big-time builder genes in that family. But Sneferu wasn't just copying old designs. He was the one inventing the whole idea of the smooth-sided pyramid. And let me tell you, this guy's ambition, it was off the charts.
His first plan for this pyramid was, well, it was absolutely breathtaking. The idea was to build a colossal stone arrow pointing straight up to the heavens. This wasn't just going to be another tomb. It was going to be a monument that dwarfed anything the world had ever seen. The plan was incredibly bold, super daring, and it was pushing the known limits of engineering at the time.
So to get that insane, soaring height he wanted, his architects picked a number: 55 degrees. That was the angle for the base. And let me tell you, that is steep. Just to give you some perspective, the Great Pyramid at Giza, a masterpiece of stability, is built at a much gentler 51 degrees. So yeah, Sneferu was really going for it. But then, as the pyramid climbed higher and higher, a terrifying problem started to become obvious. All that weight, combined with that super steep angle, it was creating way too much pressure. The foundation was stressed, and the internal chambers were literally starting to crack. They were facing a complete catastrophe. The whole thing was about to collapse into just a giant pile of rocks.
But you know what? Facing total disaster, these ancient engineers didn't panic and run. Nope, they cooked up a radical rescue plan right in the middle of the build to save the entire project.
And the key to their plan was another number: 43 degrees. About halfway up, they just slammed on the brakes and changed the angle to a much safer, much more stable 43 degrees. They also switched to using smaller, lighter stones for the top section. And that desperate last-minute change is what gives us the bench shape we see today. It's basically a giant scar, telling the story of an engineering crisis.
And that's what's so incredible, right? The Bent Pyramid isn't just a building. It's practically a history book written in stone. It's the ultimate proof of the tough trial and error process these builders had to go through. This mistake wasn't a failure at all. It was the crucial lesson they had to learn before they could go on to build the perfect pyramids at Giza.
Okay, but that still leaves a few big questions hanging in the air. Like, why keep it? Why leave this monument standing when it's so obviously different? What can this perfectly imperfect structure really tell us about the people who built it?
I mean, really think about it. Why not just tear it down and hide the evidence? The simplest answer is, maybe they didn't see it as a failure. Maybe it became a symbol of humility, a lesson that even a pharaoh has to play by the rules of physics. It was also the ultimate textbook for every builder who came after. And Sneferu himself, he didn't let it stop him. He finished the Bent Pyramid, and then, right away, he took everything he learned and built the first ever truly perfect smooth-sided pyramid, the Red Pyramid, literally right next door. But what if that easy explanation isn't the whole story? There are other theories out there, you know? Some people argue that change in angle wasn't a last-minute fix at all. What if it was planned? Could it have some deep, secret religious meaning? Maybe the two different angles represent the two lands of Egypt, upper and lower, united by the pharaoh. Is it possible the bend is a feature, not a bug, and we've just been reading it wrong all this time?
And you know, maybe that's the real magic of this place. In the end, its so-called imperfection is what makes it so fascinating. A perfect pyramid shows you the polished final product, but this one shows you the process. It shows you the struggle, the problem solving, the human ingenuity. Maybe its imperfection is what makes it the most honest monument of them all.
So that's where we stand. We have two incredible possibilities. Was it a brilliant, on-the-fly technical fix to avoid a catastrophe? Or is it a monument with a deep, symbolic meaning that we've just lost over the millennia? What do you think is the real story behind the bent pyramid? Who knows? Maybe the final answer is still buried out there, waiting for us in the Egyptian sand.